they pulled the plug. They decided, the Universal decided, like, too much money has been spent over there. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting enough product from over there that we can put out. The quarters are going by, so they pulled the plug on the Heavy D situation, on the whole Uptown situation. But they decided to keep me and Monifa. Okay. You know, and they dropped everything else. So I moved over to Universal, man, and then so that album we started on it in '96. Finally, in '99. Wow. We put a single out. Wow. You know. 3 years. Yeah, it took 3 years, man, just to get the single out, and then you know, by the time they dropped the album, we had Nelly. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Nelly was over there, you know what I'm saying, with that country grammar, and it just took off, and so that's where all the focus went. You know what I'm saying? So if your name was Nelly over there, you know what I mean? You still on, but you know, right? You was basically just on the label. You were on the label, yeah, not in a part of the label, really. You know what I'm saying? So that support, it wasn't going over here to your part. Everybody was just focused on, you know, this Nelly thing. So got kind of a raw deal over there, you know what I mean? And then timing. Yeah, man. And then I mean, it's, you know, it goes on, man. And I left from there because Jocelyn Cooper, she was over the label at that particular time, and you know, they came to me and told me that they wanted to do a single deal. Okay. Let's just break it down to a single deal, and you know, this next for the next one. And I was, you know,
we had to talk about that in depth. Okay. In a minute. I want you to keep on with your timeline, but I want to know the difference between a single deal. What the heck is a single deal? Okay. But go ahead and continue with the timeline.
Okay. Well, that was like I said, it was after that. So that was, I'm gonna say that was like 2001. Okay. You know, so she come to me and like they wanted to do the next album, the second album over there, and they wanted to break the album down to instead of doing an album, they wanted to do just a single. Let's put the single out and see how the single does before we go and put all this money into making a whole complete album. Okay. So I decided I didn't want to do that, but I went on in the studio and I recorded a song with Eddie F and Darren Lighty. We wrote this song called More Than a Woman. Okay. And
great song.
It turned out to be a great song too. Great, you know. And then but when they came to me and said that they wanted to just put that out as a single, and I was like, nah, man, you know, I didn't do that. Wasn't my deal. You know, I had an album deal, so either we're gonna put an album out, or I'm just gonna walk away. And my lawyer was like, man, you sure that's what you want to do? So I was like, yeah, man. He was like, okay, well, cool. I'm gonna go with it. I'm stand behind you. So you know, I left there, man, and you know, we took the record, and because of More Than a Woman, Hollywood Records, Disney owns Hollywood. Right. They came knocking at about 2002, you know. Angie Stone called me, and you know, she had heard More Than a Woman. Darren Lighty was working on her album, and she heard the song, and she invited me to come record the song with her on her album. So it came out on her album before it came out on mine. And I signed a deal with Hollywood Records, which was probably one of the biggest deals I ever signed, you know. All right. And you know, I did my second album, which was 2:35 p.m. That album came out in '03. Okay. You know, and then off of that album, we didn't put that out as a single. We put Keep On Pushing. We put that out. You know, so that record did really well for me as well. And we put More Than a Woman on the Deliver Us From Evil soundtrack with Gabrielle Union, LL Cool J. Remember that? And so after that, man, you know, going on the road, I went on the road, went on tour with Nelly. Ironically, Nelly was the one that, you know, took the spotlight over there at Hollywood. I mean, not at Hollywood, at Universal, but, you know, by me, I signed at Hollywood, like, you know, like 4 years later, and me and Nelly go on tour together. Wow. You know, he let me go out and open up for him and stuff, man. And so it was a all hip-hop tour, but I was out there with my live band, you know, jamming that soul music, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's all right.
It was cool, man, you know. You know, after that, man, I was over there at Hollywood, man, probably for like, I put that album out. We put it out in 2003, and then 2004, they wanted me to come off of the road. I started touring. They wanted me to come off the road and get back in the studio to start on my second album, which didn't really make sense to me because the ball had just started rolling. You feel what I'm saying? And we brought Babyface on as the executive producer for that second album. Okay. You know what I mean? And me and Babyface got in the studio and started working. Came up with some great records, man. They great records. I'm talking about that. Some of them we never put out. Well, any of them we never put them out. There Goes My Baby was the only record that ever came out of the bunch that me and Babyface did. And when I tell you, like, there was some of the greatest material that I've ever recorded to date. But Charlie got that one, and we put that one, you know, he put it out, and you see what that one did.
Yeah.
And so, and after that, man, like, you know, that's when Babyface was going through his divorce with his wife, unbeknownst to anybody. It was like real quiet, like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just taking a long time for us to get the project done. Then Hollywood decided they was gonna pull out. And so in 2005, man, by the end of 2005, you know, I found myself out the door again without a label at that point, man. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna chill out. You know what I mean? Because I done a huge publishing deal. You know what I mean? You know, I wrote a few songs that was nice hit records. Right. And you know, when I signed my deal at Hollywood, it was a very lucrative deal. So you know, man, I just kind of walked away from the industry, man. Wow. And I didn't put no more records out. But I bought me my own studio, and I just continued to record and just record. And we used to go there, me and my guys, man. We just hang out, party, and BS. You feel me, man? Every day. You know what I mean? For like 5 years, man. Yeah. And you know, people kept reaching out, hitting me up on you know, the websites and emailing me like, when you gonna put another album out? When you gonna put another album out, man? After 5 years, I was like, you know, maybe I should just put some more music out there. You know. And so I did, man. I came back. Shaniki, they reached out to me, man, and I took a deal with them, an independent deal with them in 2007. We put an album out in 2008 called When Love Comes, and that album did pretty well. And then, you know, 2009, we did another album called The Facts of Life. I did some of Bobby Womack's greatest hits. Right. And I got nominated for the first time for a Grammy. Okay. That's what I got nominated for. 2 Grammys, matter of fact. Wow. Yeah, so me and Ann Nesby did a song on there, Love Has Finally Come at Last, and A Woman's Gotta Have It. We got nominated for both of those. And you know, and they started rolling again. And then, like I said, Charlie Wilson took There Goes My Baby and redid that in 2009, man. So I got a Top Writer of the Year award from ASCAP. And then the next year, 2010, you know, I put out another album. So I put out like 4 albums back to back, back to back every year. You know what I mean? And I did this song called "You're So Amazing." You know, wrote it and produced that, and got nominated for another Grammy for that. You know, so that's my timeline, man. And then now here I am sitting with you. You know, that's where I met you at the ASCAP Awards. So you know, now I'm sitting up here. Yeah, you know, man. With
I mean, you've been through a lot, man.
I've been through a lot, man. A whole lot.
But it's definitely, I'm sure, a worthy journey.
Yeah, man. You know, people like they going through real things in their life, man. You know, and there's always a place in people's heart, man, for, you know, someone that speaks on real things. And you know, my mom always told me, what comes from the heart goes to the heart. There's always going to be a connection there. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I always put out stuff that I really feel, you know what I mean, and it means something to me, and there's always somebody out there that it's going to mean something to, and that connection is just going to be there, man. So they respect me for that, man, and so I try to stay true to that, and hey, and it's keeping me going. Yeah, it's
working for you. When we come back, we're gonna break down some of this industry stuff that you were talking in this timeline. All right.
Okay.
We're back here on Hip Hop Connection with Calvin Richardson. A lot of stuff, man, in the timeline. I mean, you mentioned, you know, the single deal, the album deal. Like, what's the difference between the two? Is it like a drastic cut in money and resources and all this stuff if you do a single deal, or is it kind of the same?
Well, I think it is definitely a cut in the money and the resources, but it's still a marketing tool, I guess. But at that particular time, when I made that decision that I didn't want to do a single deal, man, because I thought there would be a lot less of a commitment from the label side. And I think when you on a major label, man, like you really want that commitment from them in order for you to get to that next level. Because, you know, I kind of I was let down or disappointed in the beginning when I thought that support that I was banking on to, you know, to get me where I really wanted to go was going to be there.